Good morning. So, oh gosh, you guys, thank you again so much for all the support that you've been giving to me, and I want to give it back to you. Okay, so I'm working on some things that I want to talk about, and there goes my nose again. Is this going to be like a recurrent thing? Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. This I had said this before, and I'm going to say it again. One of the things that has touched me so much is how there are so many people who feel like the government's not going to listen to us. And, it's really heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So last night before I went to bed, I was going through YouTube. You know how you do, right? And I don't remember where it was that I heard this, but there was somebody talking about the largest portion of our population that goes out to vote are the baby boomers. So I'm actually the youngest of all the baby boomers. So mostly percentage wise of demographic groups is the people my age and older. And honestly, on this channel, the demographics are people who are 55 and older. So I'm really putting something out there to the older people in our communities, in our citizens, to I want you guys to start encouraging the younger people in your families and your communities to go and register to vote and cast your vote. Okay, this is a task that I'm putting out to you if you're listening to me, and I want you to do it gently. Okay, and I'm saying this because this is our right as citizens. We have a right to cast a vote. And another thing that I had heard recently is that President Trump is trying to do away with electoral college. Now, this is really important, especially if you feel like your vote's not going to be heard or your voice is not going to be heard. Okay? And the reason why is because, there have been times in our history where somebody might have won the popular vote, but they lost the electoral college vote. Well, if we get rid of the electoral college, then it will literally be your vote that counts. Okay, just like everybody else. I'm sorry about the dog barking and all this, but so this is going to be really important. And what I would suggest is that these conversations, not politics, but how am I going to say this? I'm not going to say to any of you, vote my way. I want you to vote for whoever I'm voting for, whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm not, and I don't think we should be doing that. We need to respect the right to individual opinions or thought processes that help us make the decisions on who we vote into whatever position they're running for. And so we need to come at it gently and just remind people that you have a right to vote. You don't have to agree with me. You don't. You vote for who you feel is the best candidate. And, sometimes it's hard to make that decision. Sometimes you have, actually most times, to be honest, that's how I feel about it. Every time I voted for a president, it was based on not everything, because I don't agree with everything that, their entire policies across the board. There's been none of them that I feel that way. And I think it's very rare that we have a presidential candidate come along who's such a superstar that everybody loves everything about this person. Okay, so that's not what you do. You look at this person's policies and what they're saying they want to do, and you look at this person's policies and what they're saying they want to do, and you're probably not going to agree with everything here, and you're probably not going to agree with everything there, but this one is a little bit more important to me than that one. Okay? And that's how you make your vote. It's pretty simple. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be, a politician. You don't have to know everything about everything. Maybe you don't even care about certain things that this person's campaigning about. Maybe you don't care about everything that this person's campaigning about. But on two issues, because they usually have a view on two of the same things, and then they have their little choice things, right? But there's usually one hot topic in the country, and they're like, okay, this is how I feel about this, and this is how I'm going to do it, and this is how I feel about this, and this is how I'm going to do it. And that's where you make your decisions. Who is going to go in the majority of whatever it is that you believe and is important to you. And then we have a contest, and somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And, you know, right before Thanksgiving, when it came out who won the election, there were a lot of people saying, I'm not going to Thanksgiving dinner because, you know, half my family didn't vote the way I did. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that. We need to get together. The election is over, okay? So now we have to deal with whoever's in office for the next term, and we have to deal with things. And we need to come together now. This is now when we need to come together. It's irrelevant what party you're affiliated with at this point. We need to come together, and we need to agree on certain things and focus on communicating that and letting the people who are in office know that we're the boss, okay? We voted as a whole, this country, for these people who are going to be taking office in 2025, and we're the boss. And we're going to watch what they're doing, and if they don't do it, and they don't listen to us, and they don't make this country into a kind of country that we're happy in, and that we're feeling prosperous, and we feel safe, guess what? You're not going to win the next election. You're fired. Trump is excluded. He's not going to run. Well, he's not 100% excluded. He's not going to win the next election because he can't run. Okay, his terms are over. This is it. He cannot run again. But he has people behind him. J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy. I hope I said that right. I don't know what's going on with Robert Kennedy. Okay, the health care person. There's other people following in his footsteps that are right now underneath him. Okay. I promise you, they're going to be looking for positions in the future, okay? So we need to pay attention, and we need to continue to tell them what we want, what we need, what we expect, and we need to hold them accountable. And other people are going to come into the picture as we move along through the next 4 years, and they're going to have different ideas, and we need to listen to them too. It's not a Republican. I mean, it is, okay, but it isn't. When it comes to the country as a whole, even though we have this divide, we still need to come together. Still need to come together, regardless of what you call yourself. You know, I could call myself a Catholic or a Baptist or a Protestant or a Methodist, but I'm still a Christian. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. I can be a Republican, I can be a Democrat, I can be an independent, I could be some of these other names that they have that aren't really very well known or very popular, but I'm still an American citizen. And so are you. If you live here and you're a citizen, you're an American. It's that simple. And so that's the kind of messages that we need to give to our younger people. And we need to encourage them to vote, and we need to encourage them to become aware and not just sit and complain, because complaining is not going to do anything. It's just going to make us more and more unhappy. We need to start doing things to take action. And the very first thing we do is we listen to what they have to say, and then we communicate. And if they're not doing it, we vote them out of office. It's that simple. That's our first step. And then maybe we'll think of some other things along the way to get the message across. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again.